Hello everyone, I got a request saying create a video of creating an onboarding screen with GoRouter and Riverpod. So we are going to do just that today. And what we are going to do today is to create an onboarding screen and navigate between onboarding screen and home screen. So we have two screens here, home and onboarding. So when we click on the onboarding screen, what we're going to do is we're going to store the value true that onboarding has happened in a shared preference. So next time when you open the app, the onboarding won't be shown. So we have a main.dart file. We have the provider scope here to scope the providers from Riverpod, and we have a GoRouter instance. I've created a folder called routes, and in the app routes we can see that there is a static function called create router that you can see is been here, and we are passing the ref. We'll come back to that later. So here we have two routes, GoRouter route 1 onboarding and home. All right, so these are the two routes, and we are setting initial location if onboarding is completed, which is a boolean that we get from watching the onboarding notifier provider. Watching that, we get it from that provider, and we'll see if this onboarding is completed or not, and then navigate to home or onboarding in the initial location. So we have a GoRouter here, and we have these two routes basically. So now we'll get into all these two screens. That's basic screens we have. We have one onboarding screen where we have an elevated button saying once it's pressed, we set complete onboarding. We will change the value there. So it will happen in the Riverpod provider. We are calling the onboarding notifier provider.notifier, and we are running a function in it. And then we will go to home when we click on complete onboarding. Well, the home screen here, it's basically just a simple screen with a app bar saying home and centered text saying welcome to the home screen. All right, so we have the main, we discussed that. We have the routes, and we have both these screens. Now let's jump into providers. So we have a provider right here. We are generating it with Riverpod annotation. So we have an onboarding notifier, extending onboarding notifier with a $_ onboarding notifier, which we will generate. And then we are overriding the build function to set up the initial values. So once we call this, what's going to happen is it's going to load check the status here, load onboarding status. So what that does is it goes into this function where we get an instance of shared preference, and then we will put it here. We will get the boolean saying onboarding completed, but there is a chance that onboarding completed may be null, so that since if it's the first time, then the onboarding is not completed and it's null. So we set the state to false, which is this boolean right over here, and we set the state to false and it return false. And when it's not false, another thing happens is like if the onboarding is completed, what happens is the shared preferences is set to true. As you can see, we have instantiated shared preferences into prefs, and we are setting it here. We were getting it, we are setting it, and we are setting the same key value to from null to true. So we are not setting it to false, we are setting it to true. So the state is true, and we are setting the state to true. So what happens here in the onboarding screen is that we are calling the complete onboarding. So when we call this function, it goes to this one right over here, and we set the value to true and set this to true as well. So every time when a new app opens, something like this happens. When a new app opens, it will check whether is from this we can watch this value of onboarding notifier provider, and we are getting a boolean here, and if this is true, then we are navigating to home, that is onboarding is completed, or else we're navigating to onboarding screen. So that's the initial location right over there. So basically what we're doing is we are creating a Riverpod provider saying whether the onboarding is true or not. Then what it happens is it will see the shared preferences, and then if it's finished, if the value is true, then it will navigate to the home page, or else it will still go to the onboarding page. Now we can run that right now, right over here. So basically that's the complete setup. We have a router here, and we are setting the initial route. So this time I haven't installed the app, so there is no data with the saying that it's true. So what happens is we will have the complete onboarding. So we can replace the screen with any onboarding, whatever you want. And when I click on complete onboarding, what happens is it goes to onboarding screen, and it will set this, it will call this function. So that function is right over here. It sets an onboarding completed to true, and sets the state to true, and it will navigate to the home screen. Okay, now we can just stop this right now, and we can see what happens when we run the main function again. So what you can see is that it won't go to the onboarding screen, it will directly go to the home screen, because now it is right over here, and it has saved in the shared preference. It has persisted in memory that you can see it, it's welcome to the home screen, and it's navigating to home screen, because it is already persisted in the memory using shared preferences, and where we will see this check right over here, and it says it's true, so it goes to the home using this ternary operator. So that is how it's navigating to home. We will check it one more time by uninstalling this app right over here, and we will delete it, and we will run it once again. So when we run it once again, it should go to the onboarding screen and not the home screen, because the value has been cleared. So every time a user deletes the app and installs it again, it will go to the onboarding screen with our setup. So it's going to the onboarding screen, we complete it, it goes to the home screen, and we refresh it, hot restart it, it's going to the home screen. That's it for this video. See you in the next one. Cheers.